Dragon Sword Awakening. So this game was heading straight down the gacha route. Yes, you heard me right, this game was a gacha game at first, and then HAL 13 launched it as a $30 premium action RPG instead. You know, dungeons, gear grinding, character tickets, all of that is free, and of course a bit of a co-op here and there. It's a nice touch. But the real question is this game as good as a proper single player experience, or is it bad because, you know, all the gacha mechanics are still here? So let's find out. But a quick thanks first to HAL 13 for sending me over a review key for this one. I played the standard version, not the deluxe one, so keep that in mind. And yeah, even though they provided me the review key, but the opinion is of course still mine, and I told them straight up before I even started this that I was going to be brutally honest, and they said yes, go for it. So let's get into it. So let's get into what this game is all about, and I'm just keeping this section short because there is honestly not that much to get into. So the story is quite serviceable, nothing more, nothing less. You play as Lute. He is your main character. He's a priest and suddenly end up being a mercenary. And there are some mysteries to the world who Lute is, and is he a dragonborn or whatever it is, right? Because again, this is a dragon-esque born kinda game. That's why it's called Dragon Sword. And of course, a lot of mysteries what is also happening in this world. But honestly, nothing really grabbed me into the story, unlike in maybe, let's say, Reverse 1999 or even Zenless Zone Zero. But this is a new IP from an indie studio, so I'm willing to let them cook here rather than expect a fully released world and a cast on their first attempt. But being this is their first game, the story in itself is completely reasonable, especially in this price point, so I think that's pretty cool. Let's immediately start with the combat that carries this whole experience, because the combat in Dragon Sword Awakening, man, it is where it's good at. So at its core, you've got your own skill set per character, and the loop is about breaking enemies down and then chaining combos, launching them and juggling them in the air while you keep the pressure on. Not going to lie, the juggling had me thinking this game of like Devil May Cry-esque, but I know it's a bit of a stretch. But yeah, I don't know, I just think about it that way. And where it gets more interesting is, honestly, maybe a bit weirder, is that some skills are locked behind specific conditions instead of just being available whenever you want them. So let's take Lute for example, right? His sword grab skill only comes online after you've already broken an enemy, so you cannot just throw it out whenever you feel like it. Then there's the Sacred Relic skill. I love this because this skill is staying true to the resources, which is Dragoness. So yeah, this skill only triggers after you've chained a combo with another party member, meaning you physically need someone in your party capable of setting that up before it becomes usable at all. So, I don't know, man, I got mixed feelings about this gameplay design. On one hand, it forces you to actually think about team composition instead of just running whoever looks the strongest. So, there's a strategy to it. But on the other hand, it can interrupt your flow mid-fight when the skill you want simply isn't available yet. And I don't know how to feel about this. Like, I don't love it and I don't hate it either. I mean, it's clearly intentional, and I just think it's worth mentioning, knowing what you are getting into. So yeah, there's that. And because there's a proper roster of characters and builds here, there's a decent amount of trial and error involved in figuring out what actually works, and I'll save you some time a bit, alright? Build this woman, Theresia. Man, she is ridiculously strong, she can stun, she can apply bleed, and her damage output is insanely high even before you have optimized anything. And when you get her build sorted out and start stringing full combos together with all of your other party members, watching the boss's health bar drop that fast, damn, that is properly satisfying. So it's at the point where it all came together for me in terms of why this combat is worth caring about. It's fun. Oh, yeah, I gotta mention this one. One of the party members look like he is from Genshin Impact. Yeah, you know him. Big ass sword, fire sword, looking all handsome and tall. Damn. Fun times, man. Of course, this game has an elemental layer on top of it, I mean, you know, the usual flame, fire, ice, yada yada yada. Flame burns for damage over time. You know, poison applies its own damage over time too. Ice, it's like the usual, you know, you can freeze enemies outright and just shatter the enemies and so on. But what you will not find here is Genshin's system of combining two elements for bonus reaction. This game just doesn't do that. You know, each element does its own thing and that's pretty much it. Of course, you can chain your bleed and burn and poison and ice and stun, all of that. But you don't have the combination, like the bonus reaction combination. I don't know how to say it, alright? Yeah, you don't have that. So that's quite of a shame, because in this game there's a lot of elements and there's a lot of mobility or skills or yeah, attacks that really is fun to use. So all in all, this game, the combat, so yeah, there's that. So gameplay wise, I think it's really good. A lot of fun, a lot of trial and error, a lot of experimenting. Like, you just don't want to stop playing this game once you are in the combat. That's how I feel about it. But it's not perfect, okay? It is no doubt without its flaws. And here is some. The combat in this game, it doesn't feel grounded, but it's not the same as floatiness, right? It is different from that, because the game still is very responsive. You can animation cancel in this game, you can dodge anytime you want, within a certain amount of stamina. yeah, I don't know why this game still has stamina. And what's missing is the impact. Hits often don't carry enough weight behind them, so for you to instantly tell whether you actually connected your hits, I mean, you just don't really know. And the game is extremely flashy on top of that, which only makes it harder to read the bosses, the enemies, and yeah, whatever it is. And combine that with the outrageous fucking insanity, dog shit, horse shit, and okay, you know what? Yeah, it's just outrageously bad, alright? The camera angle is so bad, and this is not good for a fast-paced action game, because I regularly got hit by something I couldn't even identify and just died without understanding what happened. I was like, damn, I died? What hit me? I don't know, arrows, the enemy's boxers, enemy's legs, nails, I don't know, like, there's no impact at all. Now, to my understanding, this can be fixed just by a patch, right? I mean, if they are listening to this review, yeah, they're obviously gonna fix it. But hopefully, if they are thinking about making a sequel, please, this needs a fix, because the game is gorgeous, the combat is fun as hell, it is very responsive, it is very rewarding once you get to know all the party members and identifying what you actually want to build, make things OP. But the groundedness, well, I don't know if that's a word, but hopefully you understand what I mean. And the impactfulness of the hits, please make it more prominent. That's all. And also a small thing here, because this is a single player game. Man, when I press the start button, there's no pause at all. Like, it's an Elden Ring. Like, come on, man, just give me a pause button, you know, when I want to pause the game. Because you can still get hit when you press your start button, man. Like, come on. Okay, so that's pretty much it about my complaint. Everything else is fine. I don't really remember having a very bad time in this game, unless it's that one, the impactfulness, or dying randomly with outrageously bad camera angles. I mean, I tried to tweak some settings in the camera settings, but it still doesn't work, man. Like, holy, what can I do more about this? Like, they need to fix this. Maybe increase the FOV? I don't know. Oh yes, I forgot to mention about the difficulty in this game. And I'll be honest, I didn't struggle that much playing this game. I mean, I died a couple of times here and there, but once you get the upgrades, it's just easy, man. This game is fairly easy to medium-esque. So yeah, I played through the whole story thing without any trouble at all. So if you're coming into this game and worried if this is going to be very punishing, no, it's not. Even though you might randomly die to something because you don't really know what hit you, it's still a fairly easy-ish kind of game. So there's that. But doesn't mean that it is not without its challenge, okay? So, progression. The gacha DNA is still very present in how the progression works here, even without any actual gacha mechanics attached to it, which is quite a shame, honestly. And like Genshin, you got, you know, this experience book and materials, and you would use that to level up, like you find in Genshin, plus an adventure rank system that gates your effective world level as you climb. I mean, I don't have any trouble doing this, but just to let you know, the good news is there is no stamina system gating any of it, so you can sit down and grind as much as you want in one sitting without hitting any artificial paywall. You also don't need to chase daily logins for a premium currency the way you would in an actual gacha game, because there isn't here, right? That alone makes a real difference. I mean, seeing a game built without any of that time-gated nonsense bullshit is honestly refreshing, so kudos to Hum13 for that. But please don't let the gacha comparison grinding put you off, because the actual rate of the reward here is noticeably better than what you would get in most gacha games. So for example, running a dungeon once can be enough to take a character from 1 star to 2 stars, so I think that's good. I mean, once you are deep into the later parts of the game, the grind does pick up, so you know, it's basically the same as any other games, any other JRPGs, or any other RPGs, but it never felt punishing to me on the way there, so that's a good thing. There's also a light multiplayer system in this game. Like I said in the intro, you can bring your friends into a dungeon and hunt materials together, but I don't know how fun this is because, yeah, I don't have friends to play with, guys. Please, come on. So what about the gear systems, right? You know, gacha games, gear system is the dog shit. Yeah, I mean, it is still kind of dog shit in a way. You know, same random drop system you would expect from a gacha game, but you can also craft it. And honestly, you will want to if you care about specific stats or stat effects. But the substats, they are all still random. I still don't know how to get a non-random or a very optimized substats. For main stats, you can buy this thing. I don't know what's it called though, but this square thing. And then you can use that for your specific main stat that you want. So I think that is a good thing, right? The strange part though about this game is where you get the crafting materials from. Come on, like, the dungeon is literally called trade dungeons. Like, come on, this is just so funny to me because if you heard the word trade on its own, right, you would assume it had nothing to do with equipment at all. Probably skill upgrades, character bonuses, traits, right? I don't know, man, it's just so funny to me. So at first I was like super confused to where to get the materials, but it is in the trade dungeon. Well, there's that. Oh, being this is not a gacha game, you can also obtain new characters, right? And new characters can be bought through the ticket system. You earn tickets by completing main quests or side content and then spend them on whoever you actually want. I mean, the same approach as Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. And it works really good here. You can also unlock certain characters by progressing through the story naturally, which is also a nice touch. One actual complaint here though, the game is currency stingy, man. You would run out of money really quick if you want to build everything. And yeah, the grind for money in this game is, oh my god, I don't want to say it, man. I don't want to say it. It's giving me PTSD. I'm kidding though. But yeah, it is quite harsh to grind for money here. Oh, forgot to mention, there's also the thing that I hate about this game. I don't know about you guys though. The system for unlocking goddess blessings. It requires you to track down and collect scattered parts, and more than once I properly struggled to spot where a part actually was. And yeah, for me it's a nightmare. Okay, why would you even add this in the game? Like, come on, I know it's a fun mini game, but just let me heal, man. Let me heal my party members. Oh yeah, you can only heal party members in the goddess blessings, so, but I guess it's fun, right? You got more things to do. I mean, there's that. All in all, pretty okay, with a bit of a complaint here and there. I mean, I think the complaint part is just my honest opinion about the game, but objectively, this game has a lot of things to do, and if you find the collecting goddess blessing parts is fun, then go for it, man. Let's go. So, questing. Oh my god, I'll be honest, man. The questing system is bad. Well, it's bad for me because I just don't like this kind of questing system. It's basically the same format you would find like in Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, NTE. Yeah, you walk somewhere, talk to someone, walk somewhere else, talk to someone else. That's pretty much all the loop here. Come on. I mean, is that a bad thing on its own? Not really, but you can actually minimize that by cutscenes. You don't really need to let us walk and walk and talk and walk and talk and walk and talk and walk. All of that is not a problem, but the real problem is the ratio of talking and actually playing the game in the main story quest. You can easily spend 20 to 30 minutes talking and running between markers for every like maybe 5 minutes of actual fighting, and that starts to wear on you in a game whose biggest strength is its combat, man. Let me just play my fucking game. But I'm going to say this, that the cutscenes in this game, I mean the CGI animated cutscenes, man, they are good. Oh my god. I'm just gonna tell you that. Not gonna spoil anything, but the cutscenes, for me, they are good.
Chop!
인간 집어는 배기가 있고 좋다 어디나 즐겁게 해보거라.
And speaking of goodness, let's get into the art direction, the visuals, the graphics of this game. Visually, this is a really good looking game, man, and I'm not saying that lightly. The grass and foliage in particular stood out to me. There's a level of detail there I wasn't expecting from a new IP out of an indie studio, but I wish they had ray tracing. I know, I'm a sucker for ray tracing, man, especially in a game like this, because without it, you can see some rough edges in how the water reflections is, how they are handled. I mean, it's not a deal breaker, just a noticeable once you spot it, once you know what ray tracing is. But all in all, it is still a very good looking game. It's built in Unreal Engine, which is really good news for two reasons. First, modding and tweaking the game should be relatively straightforward for anyone who wants to get into that down the line. Second, performance is solid, surprisingly. Like, I got no hiccups along the way. Maybe some bugs, here and there. Some, I got stuck into something. But the performance is so smooth across the board. I got stable performance, and you can limit your FPS in this game, which is a nice touch. Character models are well done across all the cast in this game. Like I said, man, and the cutscenes, they back that up too. So fucking good. Facial expressions, voice acting, they all don't feel cheap or stiff, which is insane for an indie studio, man. Like, come on, this game looks so amazing. How can you not love loot? Like, this person's character design is so spot on, and I feel like I'm playing Dragoness again. I mean, Ceresi? I don't know how to pronounce her name. Ceres? Man, how can you not have a neuron activation by just looking at her? How can you not? I know, I'm just glazing at this point. Ceresi is giving me the blood pumping, bro. Okay, all jokes aside, this game is very good looking, and you will not be disappointed when you play all these characters. Animation of the characters are also smooth. The way they swing their sword, the way they, just throwing their hits. Alright, I don't know how to explain this one, but they all look so good and fabulous. On the other side though, I actually thought about something funny early on. I mean, the open world music had me thinking of Elden Ring at first. Like, it's so... I don't know, if you ever heard of Elden Ring's background music, when you go to the open world, it makes you feel so sleepy. And very kind of this very serious note. But once I paid closer attention to it, I realized it is actually a rework background music pulled straight from the original Dragon Nest. I mean, I think they just tweak it slightly. It is a nice touch for anyone who's been around that long. Like, you just feel the nostalgia coming in your brain, bro. Yeah, it's nice. It is a very nice touch. Outside of that, the soundtrack is solid across the board without being a standout on its own. It does the job really well. That's pretty much it. I don't want to say that it's good, it's really good. No, it's not. And it's not bad either. So yeah, it does its job and I enjoy it, that's all. Dialogue delivery is handled really well in this game. There's minimal pauses or dead air between the lines, which keeps conversations from dragging more than they already do pacing wise. The Korean voice dubbing is surprisingly good, though I'll be honest, I don't have a great frame or reference for judging Korean dubbing quality the way I can with Japanese or English. Speaking of which though, I do wish this had a Japanese dub option. But given this is still an indie release, I understand why that wasn't in the budget. Yeah, keep it Korean, it's nice. It is also made from a Korean studio, so they all know, oh my god, this is a Korean studio doing its own thing? Oh my god, let's fucking go, yeah! And hopefully in the next game, they will have a Japanese voice dubbing at least. So what about the content and the longevity of this game, since this is a gacha game and you really want to get your money's worth? So yeah, there is a solid amount of achievement content here, so if you're the type of player who is a completionist, yes, this game is obviously going to keep you busy. Between that and post-game build optimization, you are looking at potentially around 100 hours-ish if, big if here, you are determined enough to squeeze everything out of the game. I mean, for a $30 price tag, that is an extremely fair deal. You are not getting the most ambitious story on the market, but the length and the amount of stuff to actually do backs up for the price itself. Overall, this game for $30 is very fun. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing in a game. It's not going to be the best action RPG you play this year, but it is certainly going to be a very fun one. If I could send one message to Hunter13 team, it would be this. You know, treat this as a learning step, because the IP and the combat foundation you've built here have real potential. You don't need to build this out with expansion after expansions again. Well, maybe, you know, add character DLC here and there, it's fine, sure. But what I actually want is a proper sequel. Expand the main storyline this time properly, improve the UI, improve the general quality of life, and above everything else, make the combat feel more grounded and more impactful. Because that's the one thing holding the current combat as of right now. And of course, the camera. Camera, come on, guys, please just fix the camera. Please. Even the lock-on system is horseshit. But everything else is good. The combat, mwah, love it. I would say you can scrap the leftover gacha style progression entirely and build a proper standalone grinding experience around this game instead. You know, like with the real quality of life improvements this time. I mean, I did like the semi-live service angle in this game with co-op, you know, so it's like Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. So you can keep that if it makes sense for a sequel in future games. Whether you keep the open world or try something completely different is up to what the community actually wants. If Hunter13 can pull all of that together and launch a sequel at maybe $40 with those improvements in place, man, I think it's gonna be selling like hotcakes. Because underneath everything, like the bat and stuff, the core gameplay here is fun. Again, that is the most important thing in a game. This is a game that is trying to be their own game. And honestly, I'm glad this didn't launch as an actual gacha game, because if it had, going up directly against the names like NTE, Wuthering Waves, Genshin, and Arknight's Anfield, yeah man, this game going to be EOS in probably a year. So the big real question, is this game worth buying? If everything I've talked about today sounds like your kind of thing, that's a clear yes from me. But if you cannot stand any gacha influence progression, even when there is no actual gacha attached to it, this is probably isn't going to change your mind, that's fair. But the most important thing in this game, is it fun? And that is yes.